Hi, and welcome to another edition of Heritage Room's Tuesday tutorial. Yay! So today we're going to be going over a unique record set that I really enjoy and have recently learned a good bit more about. It is the 1867 Returns of Qualified Voters and Oath Books. Didn't get the name quite correctly, but the most important thing to know about it is that part of the Reconstruction Acts of 1867, after the Civil War was ended, required that men over the age of 21 would swear an oath of allegiance to the United States government and then register to vote, regardless of race. So it's the first time that we see many people who were formerly enslaved recorded by the national government and state governments. So it's a great opportunity to track folks and family members up to the point of the Civil War ending and to figure out where they were at that time. Each state's record sets are kept separately. So we're going to look at the state of Georgia's records for the qualified voters and oath books. All right. So to get to that record, I like accessing out of Ancestry, and the easiest way to get Ancestry right now is from home for free through us. So if you go to our homepage, athenslibrary.org, and then click on Online Library, it will bring you to the page with many of our databases. You can see here Ancestry is right here at the top. Just as a heads up, you can still get it at home right now. I would highly recommend taking advantage of it, but you need the Galileo password. So if you need to get access to Galileo and cannot, go ahead and email us at heritageroomref, R-E-F, at athenslibrary.org, or give us a call at 706-613-3650, extension 350. And we will be able to give you that Galileo password over the phone or through email. So I'm already signed in as Athens Regional Library System. You can see my name up here on the top, Athens Regional Library, that I am logged in through them. I'm going to move me up a little bit. And then we're going to go find this record set. So the easiest way to find a record set on Ancestry is to go ahead and click search, scroll down to the card catalog, and then I'm just going to do a keyword search for 1867 voter and Georgia. And it comes right up. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And then I always love scrolling down and reading the historical background and what you can find in each individual record set on Ancestry. I find that it has really informative information and context to the records that you're looking at. So you can see here, in order to vote, men had to swear an oath of allegiance to the United States, and some were disqualified for their participation in Confederate government posts. So not all men over the age of 21 are going to be in this record set, but I'm going to assume that the majority are. It's a rather large record set. And this record set includes both Black and white citizens. So it's the first time, like I said before, that many formerly enslaved peoples were recorded by the government. So it's a hugely rich source of information. It will list the name, date, and county of residence, and sometimes race. I do know that the Clark County records do list race. And I believe most of the state of Georgia records will as well. However, the one thing that gets a little tough is that the oath book record does not contain the race of the individual, but the return of qualified voters record does. So essentially what they did is they had the return, you would sign the oath book, say, yes, I swear my oath of allegiance, and then you would register to vote. And they are two separate record sets and, are considered two parts of a whole. However, you can't search. You have to look at one in order to confirm that, yes, this is that person. So it gets a little confusing. But we are going to look at the return of qualified voters. And you can see here, you can browse through them by county. So if you're not exactly sure of the spelling of the name, or perhaps somebody used initials, or there's always name issues whenever you're searching. You can just browse by county. So we're going to go ahead and go to Clark County just to kind of give you an overview what these records look like, what these photo records look like, the returns. So you can see here they recorded the name of the person, and you can see here they record the oath, whether they swore the oath, which page the oath is on, the color of the person. So here these are all white, and you can see the little caret marks, meaning it's carrying down. The date of the time of residence. So these people have all been residents in the state for at least 12 months. They've been in the county for at least 6 months and in the precinct for at least 6 months. Just to kind of give you an overview of that. I'm going to go to the next page. And you can see here, oh goodness, I can't get my Zoom right today. You can see here that we finally have some African Americans being recorded down here at the bottom, and they will record them in this county, in this state, as colored. And remember, anytime somebody's recording race on a document, even the census, oftentimes it was at the determination of the viewer. So a lot of people will notice that folks are either categorized as mulatto or Negro in census records. And it was really up to the interpretation of the person, of the census taker, of what they perceived that person's race to be. So it can be kind of arbitrary. So take that as you will. If people presented differently, sometimes, that happens. All right, so you can see here again, all the names are listed, and it's last name first, and then first name. So Vincent, or Alan Vincent, Joseph Jackson, and so on and so forth. Sometimes you will see abbreviations of names, Moses Jackson, Solomon Sheets, so on and so forth. All right, so let's go back because I want to search for a specific person. I've had a few people research this person coming into the Heritage Room, and I also Al Hester. He was a wonderful man here in town, part of the journalism school at UGA, but then he did a lot of work with the Gospel Pilgrim Cemetery. He was doing a lot, and he did a tremendous amount of research concerning Gospel Pilgrim and the residents of that cemetery, which we now hold those archives of his research at the Heritage Room. But one of the men that he researched quite often was a well-decorated Union soldier and an African American who lived here in Athens, Clark County. He chose to settle here after the Civil War ended. His name is not Charles, Charlie Hicks. And he has a headstone out at Gospel Pilgrim, but it was knocked down a number of years ago, and there is now kind of a movement to get a headstone replaced and put out there for him at Gospel Pilgrim. But let's check out his oath and return. So you can see here he's recorded on the return of qualified voters as Charlie and in the oath book as Charles. It was kind of a running thing. He's quoted, and this is in Al Hester's blog. If you just search Al Hester blog, it will come up in Google, and I highly recommend checking it out. He's a lot of really amazing stories about Gospel Pilgrim and several other historical aspects of Athens. But Charlie was always quoted at, my name's Charlie, it's not Charles. He did not like being called Charles. He did not consider that his name. His name was Charlie. So let's take a look at the return first. You can see here it gives us a brief description of the information that he was Black. He registered on the 6th of August of 1867. Let's take a look at the actual record. And there he is, Mr. Hicks. Or I should call him Private Hicks. He was in the Union Army and he was a soldier and he received a pension. So, and he was a resident. All right. So let's go look at his oath book. Review record. And there he is, Charlie Hicks, Clark County. A lot of people many times these aren't the signatures of the actual people. You can see here that the handwriting's very similar. But there is his oath. And you can see it's a standard form. They just filled in the information. And it locates him, though. The biggest piece of information is it locates him in Clark County. We know that he settled here and was living here for at least a year by the time of August 6th of 1867. So let's flip the page, though. Yeah, see that? I don't know. I don't always know if these are these men's true signatures or not. They always look too similar to me. But they might just be. I don't know. That or they're making marks here. Not positive. They might be signing. Anyway, so there are our returns of qualified voters and Reconstruction oath books from 1867. Like I said, they're a tremendously rich source of information, especially for folks who are trying to track people down, up to that point of the Civil War ending. And I really do highly recommend that everybody takes a look at Al Hester's blog about Charlie. It's extremely informative. Charlie has an interesting life. He actually ran away from the plantation he was enslaved upon in Newton County and ran to Macon and mustered there with the Union Army and continued to fight until for the Union Army until the end of the war, and then ended up marrying a young woman by the name of Mary Ann Shaw. And they settled here in Athens, which is, a really cool story. And just really amazing, to know and to be able to research. And Al's done a great job with working with Charlie's descendants as well and trying to get some recognition back out at Gospel Pilgrim Cemetery for this pretty amazing person. So there it is. There's our Tuesday tutorial. I hope you find it informative and useful. Searching these records, can lead to a lot of answers for a lot of people. And if you ever need help, we are always available in the Heritage Room. We're currently staffing the room Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. You can give us a call at 706-613-3650 or an email at heritageroomref@athenslibrary.org. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great rest of your week.